Are you tired of toxic assholes ruining your fantasy football experience? Consider joining us at the Worthless Fantasy Federation. We run multiple different kinds of leagues. We have a 32 team NFL simulation style fantasy league. That's what most of our content is based around. You know, you can see the podcast episodes on the channel here that directly correlate to that league, but we also have a salary cap league where we have custom rules designed around a salary cap simulation. We have a 16-team Dynasty Superflex league. We have multiple best ball leagues. Next year, we'll be introducing another 32-team NFL simulation style league, a 16-team Dynasty IDP league, and another salary cap simulation league using IDP, and much more to come in 2025 and beyond. I pride myself in, building this community free of toxicity and the stuff that normally comes along with a fantasy football, free leagues that you find on Reddit or wherever. No toxic assholes here. We're just a group of people trying to have fun. Everybody's welcome. I don't care what walk of life you're from. You're welcome here. And I will do my best to help you have fun in fantasy football again. We are very active. I'm always available to help. If you're new to fantasy football, I have no issue helping you learn and get better. We have free leagues, we have paid leagues, we're expanding all the time and starting new leagues every year. So if you're looking for something different in fantasy football, something less toxic, something a little more serious, or if you're just looking to learn and you want a place to feel accepted and to make friends, consider joining the Worthless Fantasy Federation. Link to our Discord is in the description. Or if you wanted to just reach out and ask some questions, you can, comment here on YouTube. I will answer. You can reach out on Discord. Just join up in the Discord and DM me. I am Worthless Watkins. I really hope you give us a shot. Thanks.
Welcome, Indie Gens, to Week 5. It is your guy, TJ, along with apparently the only Chicago Bears fan left on Earth, Watkins.
Yeah.
Hello, Watkins.
Yeah. You follow, there's a comedian YouTube channel. His name's Tom Grossi. Do you know anything about him?
Name sounds familiar.
You should look him up. I think you'd like his content. He does, NFL comedy content. And one series he's doing this year is essentially kind of like sketch comedy. It's all him though. Of if the NFL was scripted. And he does a really good. He's a huge Packers fan. He has a very successful podcast called Packcast. So he's a massive Green Bay Packers fan. But he does a really good job of capturing how Bears fans feel. And it's bad.
Suicidal. Homicidal.
It's bad. Yeah.
Genocidal.
Yeah.
They're the NFL's version of Sabu right now. Well, other than that, how you doing? Been
Good.
a week?
Good. Week 4 in the books. Ready for week 5.
All right.
Rankings are coming up fast.
Yeah. We are about a third of the week through the season already. Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Starting to split out. There's some still pretty close races, and then there are other divisions that are just looking like they're going to get ran away with. So, unless you have anything, we'll get right into Week 4's results.
I don't think so.
Right on. Week 4's results. Here we go. My team finally showed up this week, and it needed to, beating Tennessee 181-150. You took care of business, establishing your dominance in the NFC North, beating Minnesota 175-150. Detroit, surprisingly, being 2-2 now, beating the Packers 123-102. Philadelphia beating New York, the Giants 145-123. The Redskins surprising everyone and beating Dallas 181-151. New Orleans somehow 3-1 this year after beating Tampa Bay 93-68. In our no, this wasn't it. Atlanta beating the Panthers 228 to 176 to remain undefeated. The Seahawks beating the Rams 200 to 158. The 49ers beating the Cardinals, who didn't really do too well this week, 176 to 70. The Ravens, surprising everybody and being 2-2, beating Team Ulmer or the Browns, 111 to 86. The Steelers beating the Bengals to still remain undefeated, 152 to 139. Bills taking care of the Dolphins, 214 to 151. The Jets taking out New England, 201 to 151. Indianapolis winning their bye week, 147 to 45. We got the Raiders beating the Chargers 166 to 130. And in our game of the week, congratulations to Zack Attack taking down Kansas City, that juggernaut, 251 to 223 to remain 4-0
And
as well. So
take over the first place spot in the league.
yeah, yeah, crazy. It was a really good game. 251, 223, very high scoring. And in fact, there were quite a few 200-point games running through that actually. Um, I think I would say out of all of them, the biggest surprise would be the Jets scoring 200 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Maybe we should give them a little bit more credit. They're 2-2 now. On to the standings after week 4, we've got Chicago at 3-1, Detroit at 2-2, Minnesota at 1-3, and the Packers at 0-4. A little surprising to see Minnesota in third place there. Cowboys at 3-1, Philadelphia at 2-2, Washington at 2-2, and the Giants at 1-3. Still pretty close all throughout the East. In the South, Atlanta taking sole possession, going 4-0, but you got the Panthers and the Saints both at 3-1, and then Tampa taking up the rear at 0-4. Taking up, not taking it up. Though in the West, you got the Seahawks at 3-1, San Francisco and Arizona at 2-2, and the Rams at 1-3. And the AFC North, Steelers at 4-0. Got Team Ulmer and the Ravens both going 2-2, and the Bengals at 1-3. Still pretty close there, although Pittsburgh's looking to start to run away with it. In the East, you got the Bills at 3-1, the Jets at 2-2, the Dolphins at 1-3, and the Patriots at 0-4. In the South, the Colts and the Jaguars both at 3-1. Tennessee's at 1-3, and the Texans at 0-4. And in the AFC West, in the powerhouse division, you got Broncos at 4-0, Kansas City and the Raiders at 3-1, and the Chargers at 0-4. I honestly think the Chargers, if they weren't in this division, they've been kind of a surprise.
Yeah,
They may actually be like two.
they could be doing what the Saints are doing essentially.
Yeah, yeah. In another division, in another world. Just looking at it, all their top 3 teams have outscored our top team in our AFC South so far
Yep.
this year. That's pretty crazy. But there you have it. You have a couple of divisions which are still wide open. Some are starting to run away. After this week, we've got, let's see here, let's pull up stats and see who our leader chart is going with. Let's do offense first. On the offensive side of the ball, you've got 4 players now over 100 points, with McCaffrey taking over the lead at 119. That's Saquon's McCaffrey, along with Justin Jefferson on Saquon's team at 104. Jersey Fish having Hill at 102, Ulmer having Allen at 102, and then Boltified having Pook Pook at 96. Those are your top 5 there. Still no quarterbacks. Where's the first quarterback? Herbert at
Justin
95,
Herbert.
so he's only a point away.
Yep.
And then Josh Allen is coming up as well. So out of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, out of the top 10, Watkins, which one would you think would fall out of the top 10 by the end of the year, most likely?
Raheem Mostert.
Yeah. I was thinking either him or Puka. It
Yeah.
really just depends.
Once Cup comes back, Puka could slip out of the top 10. Yeah. Keenan
I
Allen
mean,
could
he's
slip
still
out of the top 10 too if he gets injured, or
yeah.
the Chargers start to fall
Pu-
apart.
Puka's still gonna, if he still gets like 6-7 receptions a game, I mean that keeps him relevant though.
Yeah.
So in fact, he leads the league in receptions at 39. Fun fact. Okay. On to, oops, where am I going here? There we go. IDP defense. We've only got 2 players on defense over 100 points now, so it looks like the offense is starting to creep along here. But we got AC Nailers Franklin at 113, Steel Curtains Watt at 104, Kimchi's Wagner at 97, SMA Sucks has Hill at 95, and that one guy has Khalil Mack at 94, which is kind of an outlier because he just scored 74 points this last week alone.
Yeah. My guy should be number 5. This is bullshit. Wait, Walker having himself a fucking year.
Yeah, 47 tackles and a return touchdown, interception. Pretty good after 4 games.
Yeah.
Not bad. Average over 10 tackles a game. So, I mean, out of all this, who do you think falls out of the top 10 out of these guys? Seems like a harder question.
It is a much harder question. Honestly, barring injuries, Khalil Mack, I don't think maintains that type of production throughout the year. Quincy Williams probably starts to slip as some of the like more sack prone like edge rush threats start to get more sacks throughout the year. But other than that, I like all the other names I see.
I was under the impression maybe Hunter.
I don't know. Danielle Hunter's a fucking beast. He's gonna keep getting
he's got
sacks.
5 sacks.
Yeah, he's gonna keep getting them. He's always a sack monster.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at because that was what was. He had 14 and a half 4 years ago. He had 10 and a half last year.
Yep.
He's already got 5 after 4 games this year,
Yep.
so he's on pace for what 19, 20,
Yep.
which I mean is not sustainable, but still, we'll see. And last year's champ Oluokon is right there in the top 10 again.
Yep.
Not having as great of a year, just collecting a whole bunch of tackles as he normally does. So that is our week 4 review. On to week 5. So here we go. Let's pull up the league actually, not just me. So Jaguars Panthers. I'm gonna let you pick first because it hurts. It hurts my soul.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go with the Panthers.
I'm picking Panthers too.
I know it sucks, and I am also gonna have to pick against myself potentially this week also. But
well, you're next, so Bears and Steelers. I'm actually picking you.
Really?
Yeah.
I really want to pick myself, but I just don't know. I think I'm projected to win currently, but that would require a monster game from a couple of people. My whole defense is intact, which is really what it comes down to for me. And that'll give Christian Watson another week. I mean, he showed up last week finally, but they kind of limited him. I think this week he kind of gets more. I'm going to pick myself too. I'm going to take down an undefeated team this week.
All right. That's the spirit. Packers and Ravens. 2 teams that are tanking, allegedly. The Ravens, I think, take this and go to 3-2. Crazy.
Yeah. All right. Likewise, I'm going to pick the Ravens there. I don't really see a world where the Packers win a game this year, so.
Actually, we're gonna skip that one. Detroit and Team Ulmer. Man, the Browns are gonna be 2-3 because I'm picking Detroit, and Detroit's gonna be 3-2 and still in second place in this division.
Yep, I am likewise picking the Lions. Pretty much strictly because the Browns are on bye this week, so most of Ulmer's team is on bye.
Yeah, he's only projected 20 points, and I saw his bench, and I mean it's not gonna get.
Yeah, it's not much better.
Much better. He might top 50 this week.
Yeah.
Atlanta and the Colts, gonna be a good game. Colts are favored to win. Man, I want both teams to lose. Can both teams lose?
That would be nice. I would be okay with both teams losing.
Let me look here. I'm gonna pull a Watkins and take a minute.
That's okay. I already know who I'm picking on that one, but I don't want to influence your decision.
Freaking A-Chain, man. He has been crazy.
I
And Chase has.
I have a lot of A-Chain shares in other leagues, and I'm thrilled that he finally popped off. I knew he was going to be so good.
So, I mean, just looking, you got A-Chain, who nobody expected to be that good.
I did.
Chase, who is
Some people
underperforming.
expected him to be that good.
As technically a backup running back.
I honestly
mean-
didn't think that they'd go with Mostert at all this season. I thought they were just going to start the year handing the ball to A-Chain, but I'm fine that it took a couple of weeks.
Chase has been underperforming. Kelsey's been a bit under. I mean, Allen is playing against Jacksonville, so he'll probably have a pretty good game. I'm gonna go with Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta. But I mean, it's good for me at the same time because
Yeah, you want the Colts to lose.
Colts will be 3-2 with me.
Yeah,
which is nice.
I am also picking the Falcons.
Okay.
I think that one could easily go either way, but I don't know. It's hard to bet against the Falcons right now.
Gonna be 5-0. I hate it. I hate it. Tampa Bay, Tennessee. Tennessee for me.
Yeah, I mean, the Bucks are winless and in like 30th place. I don't really see a world where they lose to a mid team even. So, or
And
they
Tampa
beat a
is
mid
on
team.
bye, so.
Oh yeah.
New Orleans and the Texans. So the Saints are going to be 4-1.
Yeah, they sure are.
That's pretty crazy.
Yep. Just means that first overall pick that everybody wanted because we all thought the Saints were going to be so bad isn't actually worth as much as we thought.
Yeah. Philly and Miami should be a pretty good game. Even though they're 2-2 and 1-3. I think Philadelphia is going to win this one.
That is also my pick. I think it's going to be close, but I think the Eagles have just enough to beat the Dolphins.
Dallas and Buffalo. That's another one. McCaffrey has been crazy.
So is Justin Jefferson.
Saquon has the top 2 offensive players. He's got Godwin on bye, so once he replaces him, there's more points there. Has nobody to replace him with. Wow, that's crazy. That's a missed spot. I'm going Buffalo.
Yeah, I went back and forth on this one a bit. It's just hard to bet against Buffalo when they've got the top 2 offensive players. I know the Cowboys defense is definitely going to keep them in there, but I think the Bills probably have just enough still to win that.
Okay. Jets and Redskins. Going to be another close game. Jets just scored 200 points, and the Redskins just had an upset win. Both 2-2. It's another good game. Let's see. The Redskins have one player on bye this week. Dak's playing San Francisco. So Dak's gonna have a bad game. I think I'm gonna go with the Redskins on this one.
That's who I'm leaning as well. I think their defense is going to be the difference maker there. The Jets don't have a bad defense. The Commanders just have a good defense. And I think that their offense is comparable to the Jets' offense. It might not score as many points this week, but I think their defense will be the difference maker. So I'm also going to go with the Commanders.
So Jets and Patriots. 1-3 and 0-4, but I think these two teams are
Not Jets and Patriots. Giants and Patriots.
Our Giants. Yeah. A little bit better than 1-3 and 0-4. I actually had the Patriots projected to win last week. They did, and they failed me. Let's look at buys here.
Nobody on a bye in their starting lineups.
No, but the Giants have Breida still in there, and Saquon plays. Either way, I mean, there's going to be more points than what Breida's projected, or Saquon goes in. You know what? You failed me last week, New England. so I'm going to go with the Giants.
I am also going with the Giants. We have
The
yet to choose a
50-50.
different team this week.
It may change here. The Chiefs and the Niners, and this is a close one. Projections off by a little over a point. I don't think Kansas City loses 2 in a row, so I'm going with the Chiefs.
I'm also going with the Chiefs. I think it's going to be close, but I like the matchups that the Chiefs players have a little bit better than the 49ers ones.
All right. On to some easier ones, hopefully. Broncos, Cardinals. Broncos take it and go 5-0.
Yeah, of course.
Raiders and Seahawks. Seahawks are better than this. They have a lot of guys on bye. Seattle is on bye, so.
Yep.
Whew, that's rough. No quarterback for them this week. And then their entire bench is on bye.
Yep.
Yep, got to go with the Vegas Raiders. Raiders
Yep.
luck out on this one. 4-1.
I mean, I don't even know if it's a luck out. They're a top 10 team in the league through just,
I mean,
being good.
I guess look out on it being an easier game than what it should be.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we have the Chargers and the Rams, and this is are the Chargers on bye? Chargers have an empty spot. The Chargers are on bye. Okay, well, Rams are taking this one and going 2 and 3.
Yep, I didn't actually realize the Chargers were on a bye, but that's enough to put the nail in the coffin there.
Which leads us to one last game, and because I pay out, I make the decisions on this.
That is
and
not how it works, but okay.
Even though these two teams are 1 and 3, it's still going to be a close game. I think this is probably the best shot for putting them in for game of the week. Cincinnati and Minnesota. For me, I think Minnesota needs to win this game because they need to keep pace with you.
Yep.
And on Cincinnati's side, it's more or less, I kind of feel bad that they had a win stripped from them. Honestly, they should be 2 and 2. So, but I'll take the win. So, let's go over their team here. We got running backs. We've got Cook versus Cook.
The brothers,
where
one is clearly in a better situation than the other.
One's in a better situation, but I think the other one's a better runner. But
Yep.
I'm gonna go with the better situation.
Yep.
So I would take
James Cook.
Cincinnati's Cook here.
Yep, same.
Wide receivers. So we've got Samuel and Hollins versus Thielen and Hyatt.
It's really just Samuel versus Thielen because neither Hollins or Hyatt are doing jack shit this year.
Thielen is doing better than I expected him to be doing in Carolina.
I mean, I don't know why. It's fucking Adam Thielen.
Well, because he's 33 and he has a rookie quarterback.
That's fair, I guess, but it's still Adam Thielen.
It is still Adam Thielen, and I do like me some Adam Thielen. I guess I would choose Minnesota's side on this one.
I would also take Adam Thielen, but I don't think Curtis Samuel would be a bad choice either. He's having an okay year. I mean, he was wide receiver 12 last week. And as sad as this is to say, they're playing the Chicago Bears this week, so Samuel might have a bit of a better game than Thielen versus the Lions. But I think I'll still lean Thielen.
There's two thoughts to that. Either Samuel could have a good game because they're playing the Bears, or Samuel's may not have a game at all because they're playing the Bears and they just get trounced, and all it is Robinson running the ball for an entire game.
Well, our run defense isn't that bad. That's a lie. We're pretty bad, but our secondary is trash outside of Jaquan Brisker. So, and Sam Howard has shown that he can throw the ball. So,
tight ends, we got Tunyon versus Hawkinson.
That's not even a conversation.
Yeah, it's easily Tunyon.
Yeah, the tight end 2 for the Bears.
Right. Yeah.
Tight end 69 on the season. Or
Hawkinson's probably going to get a
Yeah,
lot of
tight
passes.
end 1 on
They're
the
playing
season.
all right, we got our two flexes, Kyron Williams and Terrence Marshall versus Derrick Henry and KJ Osborne. I feel like their flexes are better than what their starters were, but okay.
I mean, yeah, Kyron Williams is the number 3 running back right now.
He is a revelation.
I mean, Terrence Marshall and KJ Osborne are essentially the same dude. They're both just mid,
Yeah,
like
and
50 to 60 wide receivers.
Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry in PPR leagues is not
Right.
as dominant.
He is the number 11 running back on the year currently, whereas Kyron Williams is number 3.
Yeah, I think I'd take. He's questionable. What's wrong with him? What's
contusion.
wrong with you?
It's just a hip contusion. He'll be all right.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cincinnati side on this.
Yep, I would also take Kyron Williams. And I mean, Terrence Marshall had a really good game last week, so
They're fine flexes. Both of them are.
yeah.
Super flex. We got Joe Burrow. Maybe. I don't know. He hasn't really been Joe Burrow this year versus Kirk Cousins, who's always Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins had a decent year. Joe Burrow has not been found yet. He's very MIA.
Kirk Cousins is the number 7 quarterback in the league currently. That's a little bit better than a decent year.
Kirk Cousins is having a decent year. He's not. Kirk Cousins is always in that like mid-range. Like he's worth a start for sure, and pretty much even like a team man. Whereas Joe Burrow normally is too, and not only a top 5, but he is not doing very well at all. What is he? He is 31st right now?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. That's bad.
He got paid. The fall off is real.
They are playing against Arizona, whereas Kirk Cousins is playing against Kansas City.
True.
I could once again look at this one of two ways. Arizona's been actually competitive. Kansas City, you're going to have to throw the ball to stay up with them.
Yep.
But Kansas City hasn't been Kansas City this year either.
I'm taking Kirk Cousins.
I'm going to lean towards Cousins.
Yeah.
So IDP, we've got Joseph versus Gonzalez. One's out and one's questionable. Is he still out?
Joseph, it was a hip issue.
He's been out the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Joseph.
Gonzalez is out. He's out indefinitely currently.
I guess that'll be a push because I don't think either of them are playing this week.
Yeah, I'm looking at their
Even
depth.
though they've got a projection.
I mean, the Vikings have Andrew Booth, who's a guy. I'm guessing is probably gonna. No, he's just playing special teams. Why has he got so many projected points?
Dude, I have that Mayo guy on my team. He's projected to score 7-8 points every week. I don't think he's seen the field this year.
Yeah, Andrew
So.
Booth is a backup cornerback. I don't know why he's projected to score 7 points. Is McCabe Blackman hurt? Blackman. Does the Vikings have Blackman? No. I don't know why he's projected to score so many points. Joey Porter, not really doing anything. I mean, I guess the Vikings have Patrick Peterson. That's probably who they'll slot in there. Or I guess it's an IDP flex, right? They can slot in anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But
they do have a linebacker on bye.
Yeah, they've got
so.
Oren Burks or Patrick Peterson. They've got a linebacker on bye also, so that's probably where Oren Burks is going to go. So they'll probably put Patrick Peterson in at IDP flex and Oren Burks in at that linebacker spot. I mean, Joseph, if he plays, is going to be better than Patrick Peterson, probably.
Probably. I think if Joseph plays, whoever he puts at IDP, he's going to.
I mean, if Joseph doesn't play, Nevitz has Micah Hyde. So I think I'm taking Nevitz's side of that IDP flex either way.
Yeah.
Just based on the available information of who they could play there. I'm taking Nevitz's side.
Yeah, they also have Justin Reed that they could put in there. So, yeah, okay. Yeah. IDP probably goes to Nevitz. Defensive lineman, you got Hill and Ebiketie versus Hunter and Phillips.
Yeah, that's Danielle Hunter and Harrison Phillips all day, every day. For me.
Is it?
I mean, Danielle Hunter's a monster. BJ Hill's a defensive tackle. And Ebiketie has not scored more than 4 points yet. So.
Yeah, all right. That's going Minnesota's way. Linebackers, we got Roseboom, Milano versus Hicks, and
likely Oren Burks, who's mid.
I'm probably going Nevit's side over here. Roseboom has had a good year.
Yeah, if Kendricks wasn't on a bye, I think I'd lean more towards the Viking side of this, but I mean, Matt Milano's a fucking beast. He always has been. And Roseboom is doing okay. And I think that's enough to take it. I mean, Hicks is a monster and is going to have a good game, I'm sure, but
Hicks is the best out of them all.
yeah,
for sure.
not having that second like true linebacker, he's going to end up having to play Oren Burks there, and Oren Burks is a nobody. So I think I'm going to go with Nevit's side.
DBs, we got Taylor Britt and Terrell versus Bynum and Forbes.
I mean,
Bunch of
Cameron Bynum is having a fucking career year, and he's only 25.
That's a lot of tackles.
Yeah,
for,
Emmanuel Forbes
DB.
doing pretty good too. I mean, not that AJ Terrell and Cam Taylor Britt aren't having a good year. I think Cameron Bynum and Emmanuel Forbes are having a way better year.
Yeah, I go with Minnesota on this one.
Same.
Benches. He may get Cup this week back, so that's actually worth pointing out.
That is true.
They got Zay Jones, who was out. That's about it.
Yep. Outside of like a couple of the defensive guys we've already mentioned, it's really just the fact that the Vikings could get Cooper Kupp back this week, but I honestly think that it's probably likely going to be week 6.
So that moves Cooper Kupp, or that keeps Cooper Kupp out. If he were to come up, though, he would take Hyatt's spot. That would sway me more towards Minnesota.
We already chose Thielen, so we already chose Minnesota's side for the wide receivers.
That's true. That would have cemented. I meant in overall.
Yeah.
I still think at the end of this, I'm probably going.
Who's the choice after all that?
I'm going. I'm gonna go Cincinnati.
I am likewise going Cincinnati, and I mean, I love it as the Bears owner that the Vikings are likely to fall to 1-4 to start the year, and so my competition in the North is non-existent now. But you know, it does suck for them that they were supposed to be competitive. They were ranked pretty highly pre-draft. It was meant to be an arms race between me and the Vikings, and I'm currently kind of just chilling in the NFC North with no competition.
I mean, it all happened in the off season, really. I mean,
yeah.
Or the preseason, what do we call it? Taylor not playing, Kupp not playing. Because ironically, I think
Dalvin Cook going to the
spot.
Jets and not staying on the Vikings is another big thing that is hampering them.
Yeah, I think ironically, I had their DBs as probably one of their stronger suits so far.
Yes, they've got probably the best secondary in the league.
Well, okay, so that's game of the week. So Cincy and Minnesota, try hard, get that $10. Man, if Minnesota wins, there's 2 owners.
Yeah.
Do I feel generous enough to give them $20?
No. You give one of them 10 and let them deal with it.
I think that might be what happens. All right, on to last week's projections. Bring it up.
Oh, I never actually bring that up. I just talk about it.
Okay, well, bring it up.
We didn't go over that?
No, we didn't.
Last week's picks? Oh. Well, TJ, in the pick'ems last week, you got 12 out of 16 correct for 75% correct. I got 13 out of 16 correct for 81%, and the WFF got 12 out of 16 correct for 75%. The big misses were you picking the Giants to beat the Eagles, which did not happen. All of us picking the Panthers to beat the Falcons, which did not happen. The WFF picking the Chiefs to beat the Broncos in the game of the week, which did not happen. So not only did they lose that point, they lost a bonus point. We all picked the Cowboys to beat the Commanders, which did not happen. We all picked the Browns to beat the Ravens, which did not happen. And then you picked the Patriots to beat the Jets, which did not happen. Those were the big misses. Which brings our overall total up to TJ with 50 for a grand total of 78 games called correctly so far. Me at 51 with 80% of games called correctly so far. And the WFF at 46 with 72% of games called correctly so far. So I am in first place by 1 point.
But if I remember correctly,
Yes, if you factor in
I have
bonus points, you and I are tied.
I like to hear that.
And the WFF
Well-
would be at 49, which is still kind of far back, but you know, they could make it up.
Maybe they should pick better.
Maybe they should.
What about this week? Let's
What
pull up the
about
graphs and
this
see.
week? Let me share my screen. Okay, so we got 7 responses this week. Pretty low. Gonna need you guys to step it up. This shit was up for a whole week this time. There's no excuses for only 7 people to have filled this out. But it is what it is. We have 4-3 with the Steelers beating me this week. So we chose me to win, but the WFF chose the Steelers to win.
Okay.
We got 100% in favor of the Eagles to beat the Dolphins. I did not expect it to be 100%.
Okay.
We got 6-1 in favor of the Falcons to beat the Colts. I expected it to be closer than that.
I did too.
We got 4-3 in favor of the Raiders to beat the Seahawks. I wonder if the 3 people who voted for the Seahawks realize that they're on bye. Bengals Vikings. It's 5-2 in favor of the Bengals, or in favor of the Vikings, I mean. So we went with the Bengals, and they're going with the Vikings. Another
Okay.
game of the week where it's different. Their pick is different from ours. Jaguars Panthers. It's 6-1 in favor of the Panthers. Someone out there believes
You
in
guys
you.
still have faith in me?
Someone out there
You guys still have
does.
faith in me?
Chiefs
That one person
49ers.
is
Yeah. Chiefs 49ers 5-2 in favor of the Chiefs. Lions Browns 5-2 in favor of the Browns. It's almost like people are voting on this and just not even looking at the matchup. You guys are throwing this competition. Cowboys Bills 100% in favor of the Cowboys, so that's another pick different from ours.
How about them Cowboys?
Buccaneers Titans 4-3 in favor of the Titans. They almost chose the Buccaneers to win. Jets Commanders 5-2 in favor of the Commanders. Texans Saints 100% in favor of the Saints. Packers Ravens only 4-3 in favor of the Ravens. People actually thought the Packers were going to win. Cardinals Broncos 100% in favor of the Broncos. Chargers Rams 6-1 in favor of the Rams. Giants Patriots 4-3 in favor of the Patriots actually. So there was quite a few picks that differed from ours.
This may be our a week where we get away from them. Then I only have to worry about you.
Yeah.
I am excited for the game of the week because I think if Minnesota fails, you are almost guaranteed the NFC North at that point.
I'm already guaranteed the NFC North. I'm not worried.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to the motherfucking playoffs. Guaranteed a top 4
Okay.
seed. It's just, once I get there, how quickly am I losing out?
Well, I mean, to be honest, nobody in the NFC is really running away with it.
I mean, if you did matchups based on the seeds right now, I'm the 4 seed, so I'd play the
First seed gets a bye.
I'd play the 5th seed, so I'd play the Panthers. And it'd be, I don't know. I don't want to play the Panthers in the playoffs. No, thank you.
I mean, they've got the second most points scored
Yeah,
in the NFC
something like
now.
that.
Yeah.
I don't want to play the Panthers in the playoffs.
I mean, honestly, Seattle is 805 points.
Yeah, they're the
Are they the
second
number
seed.
one seed?
They're the second seed.
They're
The
the second-
Falcons are the
Oh wait,
first
yeah,
seed.
4-0. That's right, 4-0. That's crazy. That's better than I expected from them.
Yeah.
I expected them to do good, but not that good. We'll see how the year goes. And in the North, we've got Pittsburgh and Broncos at 4-0.
I want to play the Saints in the wild card game. I mean, they're the sixth seed
I
right
bet
now.
you do.
They've been in the playoff picture the whole time. Let the Saints sneak in. Let me play the Saints in the playoffs.
I sneak in at 7, right? You said I was 7th.
Yeah, you're the seventh seed currently, so you'd go up against the Steelers.
Steelers. I'd take that. I can
Yeah.
beat the Steelers.
Yeah, if the
I can take
playoffs started today, like this week, it would be you versus the Steelers in the wild card.
That's an easy W for me. 4-0 by fluke.
Yeah.
That's why we play the games. If we didn't, we'd all have Kansas City at 4-0 right now and unstoppable. So.
Yep.
And here they are, 3-1, and every week we hear from Kimchi talking about how he's going to lose this week. So, no matter how close the game is.
Yeah. I mean, he very well could go on a lose streak. That would be kind of crazy.
Indeed. I mean, wouldn't that be nuts if he even somehow just didn't even make the playoffs
Oh God.
and still be like the top scoring team in the league?
Yeah.
That's nuts. All right. Well, with that, I think we're done with this week, unless you have anything to add to it.
I do not believe so. Excited for week 5. I'll get the week 6 pick'em thing up sometime in the next day or two. And we got to start working on power rankings for the midseason rankings. It's coming up quick.
Week 5, I'll probably do it. Probably do it next week.
I'm currently, when I've got time to work on it, working on just filling out my rosters for every team, and then I'll go in and probably start ranking players and doing the actual meat of it next week also. And then I'll just have to slightly adjust things, during week 7 before we start putting them out.
All right, man. Well, with that, I guess we will log out for the day.
Catch you guys next week.
See y'all later. Have a good one.